Hey, so we are Aslan's How Organics. Behind me is the community garden. We do leased rows, like 100 feet. So you can see back here, these rows are 100 feet long. That's our garden area. Comes to about halfway here. And then right over here is the end of the garden. So we're going to be doing our first community garden like right here. And you get 100 feet. It includes watering, and also I will lime it and get it tilled. So and then after that, it's yours for the season. We do have kind of a short season because we usually want to put a cover crop in, so probably like around let's say end of September. So first of all, it's got pretty good sunlight, and then right down here is the automatic timer, so that we usually water twice a week for a couple hours. That's usually good enough throughout the summer. Okay, so let's talk about the things that the farmer needs to know to succeed at Aslan's How Organics. We've got, first of all, we're an organic farm, so all of your products that you use on the farm for inputs like fertilizer or pesticide herbicides would be need to be OMRI listed. That's the certifying agency for organic in the U.S. And so, first thing after organic, if you're okay with organic seeds, organic inputs, the costs associated with those, is that you don't have to know anything. Minimum gardening knowledge is okay. We are an incubator farm. We'd love to teach you, and we're creating how-to videos. The second thing is we have a lease agreement, so just we try to get everything on the table before we start. So kind of tells you where your plot is, and the items about the organic fertilizer. Talks about Oregon law allows you to harvest your crop even if we sell our land, although in the lease agreement you agree to be off the land by October 1st, so we can do a cover crop a little bit early, if that works for you. We're going to have set hours that you can be on our farm with the pandemic going on, and you have to have a mask when you're on the farm except for when you're working directly on your plot. Lastly, so I mentioned organic seeds. These are the things that are required for being on our farm since we're organic. We have a form I'll show you for the seeds, seeds record. We have organic inputs, fertilizer, sluggo, the OMRI listed. A lot of stuff we get from concentrates for nitrogen and other nutrients. So all of that stuff would be on an input record. So I'll show you that in a moment. So First, let's take a look at the Lease Income.
Hi.
That's my son Sage the Wise. So, you know, we have a garden field and there's a set area where you'd be farming. The farming plots are 100 feet long by 4 feet wide, so usually we have 2 rows in each 4 feet. But you can adjust that. The 2 rows is usually just to help with weed management, how easy it is to get a wheel hoe in there. What you get is water, and you get a field that has been limed, so the pH be decent and tilled. So those are the things that you get, and then at that handoff point, the rest is up to you to fertilize, apply drip tape, learn how to do that, plant, weed, harvest, remove the drip tape, and the final plant cleanup will have like an area where all seed crops have to go at the end so they don't get tilled in. As soon as the ground is tillable, since it's been wet for a while, we can till the land. And like I said, we end our farming season early at October 1st, so I can put a cover crop in. So make sure that works for you. We have organic records, seeds, and inputs. So here's the organic inputs. Here's the organic seed tracker. So you'd have date you planted, vegetable variety, where you got your seed from, and as if it was USDA organic. And then the records tracker. Let's see. They're both records tracker, but this one is for like inputs, like we were saying, fertilizer and sluggo. So that would be what the product name is, when you applied it, where you got it from, and is it OMRI listed. So pretty simple on those. Oh, it includes like a potting soil area down here. And we do have spot in our greenhouse if you want to try to start stuff from trays. And we have like remay you can use. All for free. So here it talks about like the organic fertilizer that we use, 855, that's NPK description. From concentrates, we usually get a 50-pound bag, but you can also get it by the pound. This is the fee for lime and cover crop, but it'll be waived for EBT recipients, and the watering policy, the masks, and the set hours. So that's it. Okay, so one thing right off to look for when you get your new community garden spot is to look at the tilt of the soil. So this soil here is like flour, you know, sugar, granulated sugar. Very smooth, and if it's smooth like this, then the roots can grow into it. If it's all clumpy like this and clay, then the roots can't metabolize the nutrients that's in there. And under here is the drip tape. So with your community garden, you get 100 feet of, couple hundred feet of drip tape. We usually do, this is one tilling here, so we usually do 2 beds in a tilling. You can do it tighter, but it's harder to weed. I can get my wheel hoe in between these 2 drip tape. We're currently this year using lots of remay. Remay keeps the flea beetle off and other pests. Also keeps the rabbits out. So we have some extra remay if you want to try that. It kind of depends when in the season you're growing stuff, to what kind of pressure and what kind of plant. If you're growing Napa cabbage, that's a really soft leaf. The flea beetle love that. If you're growing green onions, kind of bitter, flea beetle don't like that. Here's an example of a pretty good head of lettuce. It's just a little gem, kind of romaine. I wanted to talk to you for a second about soil fertility. Right here on our onions, you can still kind of see where we side dressed with nitrogen. So it leached in and helped this plant get, these are pretty decent sized greens before it bulbs up. It bulbs up after the days start getting shorter after the equinox. Here is some radish. We just had some remaining. And I wanted to show you a typical flea beetle. So these little holes here are flea beetle. And they'll kill brassicas pretty quick. Here's an interesting little bug right over here. And if you leave in the comments if you know what that guy is. He's out of there.